Today's daily recap for BTG Beyond the Gates is for Thursday, May the 29th, 2025. Well, uh, Danny, I don't like it when they make her in this mode. She's just telling Haley, you ain't pregnant. This is all a plan. This is trap a man or get your claws into a man 101, right? And so Haley's like, yes, Danny, just because you say I'm not, don't make it so. Well, Danny is talking there so long, Bill comes down. He could hear. Remember, he was supposed to be changing. And so she goes, he says something to Haley, and Danny and Bill says, now I'd like to hear the answer to that, Danny, because Danny said something to, I mean, Haley said something to Danny. And Danny said, no, I was just telling your child bride that she knows she's not pregnant. This is just a way to get her well manicured claws hooked into you. And he goes, wait, what? He goes, oh, she's not pregnant. Watch. Something's going to end up happening. The doctors made a mistake. Oh, boo hoo, boo hoo. I'm not pregnant now. She goes, mark my words. And he goes, do you know what, Danny? This ain't working. And Haley is kind of taunting her. She goes, you know what, Bill? Danny's right. I'm not pregnant. And only the almighty, all wise Danny Dupree figured that out. Because first she goes, I'm not pregnant. Bill looked at Haley. And then when she started mocking, she goes, figured it out. And Danny just looked at her. And Bill starts chuckling. She goes, yeah, okay, yeah, you figured it out, Danny. Bill and I are having a baby. And Danny says, no, see, what you've just done is admitted openly that you're not. So later you're going to say, I said I wasn't. Danny was right. And so Haley just looks, she goes, you know what? This is like pathetic. Bill and I are happy. Our family is growing. And there ain't no room for you. She goes, I take all you could think about, Danny, is me, me, me. She says, and I don't think about you. And I'm thinking, yeah, you do. You think about her all the time. But Danny does obsess more. So Dan and Bill says, what business is this, Danny, of yours anyway? I'm just, what did she say? She was just trying to protect something, which made no sense, right? So Danny's like, she leaves, okay? Danny goes to Uptown, which is closed, but she's tells the bartender, look, I'm a Dupree. Can you make an exception for me? Unless you part owner, no. But okay. Then she says there'll be a very handsome tip in it. Oh, now we talking. Okay, yeah, okay, what you want? Doggone right, I could get a nice hefty tip. I don't have to cook no food. I'm just serving you drinks. Did I say Orphy Jeans? It's Uptown that they were at. So anyway, her face, she was just obsessing, looking at pictures of Haley and Naomi when they were young and babies and toddlers. Because see, now she ain't gonna be the only mother of Bill's kids. Oh, and I said, look, this is screwing her up. And here I'm thinking, we got past all that with her. She gonna plot and plot and plot and watch her have make Haley have an accident, fall down some stairs or some crap, and lose her first baby. That is if she's really pregnant. But I think because her and Bill have been trying, and Danny doesn't know that Haley thought she was pregnant a few months ago and wasn't. She doesn't have a problem telling Bill, I'm not pregnant, and being sad about it, right? They've been trying. So I really feel that Haley is pregnant. Now, whether she'll they'll let this pregnancy progress enough for her to have this baby this early on the soap. I don't know, right? But I think she is pregnant. Now, Doug walks in. The reason why Doug walks in, Joey called him and invited him to play. He was comping him some money so he could help him win some of his money back. You knew Joey had a plan. He ain't never comping Ted money out of the goodness of his heart. And Ted, not Ted, Doug. And Doug even said, I'm just really surprised by your generosity. And Joey says, yeah, call me stupid. Momentary lapse. Are you coming or not? Because I could rescind the offer. He goes, I'll be there. I'll be there. And then Vanessa walks in to Uptown. And she's sitting there. She's flirting with Joey. He's flirting with her. He goes, you know what? I have an idea. Would you like to try your hand at gambling? And she goes, what? He goes, let's go to my casino. And she said, well, okay, I'm up for a new adventure. So she goes to the casino with him. They go in the back room. There's two other players in an empty chair. And Doug looked at the dealer and said, wasn't this chair taken? Thinking like he was hoping to have walked in on Doug, Vanessa walking in, and there's Doug playing, right? And he goes, well, the person that was sitting there had an emergency. So he goes, ooh, come on. He goes, their emergency is your game. So she sits down and she goes, I've never played this before. You're going to have to talk me through this. So, of course, guess who's winning and winning, right? And Doug starts to walk in and he sees Vanessa and Joey there. So he shrinks back, right? And leaves. So Vanessa stands up because she's won a nice little pot and she's flirting with Joey, talking to him, saying, I wonder what other uses could you use this gaming table for? And Joey looks at her and he's like, say what? Dealer. We're closing this game down, folks. You can either enjoy the extra amenities in the casino. I'll comp you some drinks. And he said, dealer. He knew the dealer's name, but I can't remember it. He goes, dealer, open up another private card room and comp these gentlemen some drinks and something else, right? And then he goes, very well, right? So the guy's walking out and he goes, oh, and dealer, lock the doors behind you. And he goes, yes, sir. So Joey takes the remote, turns it so the lights are turning different colors in the room and got some music going. And he's dancing there with Vanessa. And oh, of course, he rips her jacket shirt off or whatever she's wearing to her little leather underwear, uh, bra, and whatever she got going on, little dominatrix thing. And she's looking at him and she trying to rip his off, his jacket, and they end up laying down on the card table. They don't show them. They just show them going down on the card table. Well, Doug goes into Uptown and the bartender says, I'm sorry, sir. We're closed. It's after hours. And Danny looks, she goes, bartender, do me this favor. He's a friend of mine. Let him come in. He'll have what I'm having. And there's a really big tip in it for you. Very well. So he brings her he brings Doug what Danny's having. So they both, drinking in their misery. Now, this was funny. Kat is a detective. That girl is missing her calling. Her mother was right. She is obsessed with the true detective shows. She was combing through security cameras footage of the night that Leslie's potassium levels spiked and she had the heart attack. And so Jacob said, how, how many times have I told you? There has to be proper chain of command. How did you get this video? And it could be tampered with. She goes, well, it's not. And she says, Andre is doing a documentary on the nurses. So he asked security for different footage, for more ambiance in between scenes. Nurses going in and out of rooms, people walking down corridors, things like that. So we made sure we got the day in question. And this nurse here, nobody seems to recognize. And she goes, by the way, did you go to that other hospital that Leslie says she transferred from? And it's like, because this is not my first day as a detective, he said, yes, I have. And no, no one seems to know who what nurse could have been over, saying she was on the surgical team. So they know that was a ruse. So she shows him the tape. He goes, this is Leslie going into Laura's room. And he's looking at it. He goes, he goes, it's not close enough. He goes, it could be her, but I can't go on could be's for an arrest. So she goes, well, that's why I've asked Mona here. He looked at her. He goes, Mona knows Leslie. So Mona comes and Mona's like, do you think this could have waited, Kat, until I come to work tomorrow at your parents' house? So she goes, no. Jacob is working on this case, and we need you to identify or see if you recognize who's in this picture. So Mona's looking at it and she goes, it's not that clear, right? And it's not close. She says, I don't know. It looks familiar, but she goes, what am I supposed to know her? And Kat said, it's Leslie. And Jacob says, Kat, what have I told you about leading a witness? You can't tell a witness what they see. They have to see it themselves. So she goes, Mona's looking and looking. She goes, this could be Leslie. She is right. She says, however, and I want to say this, I am not friends with Leslie. I owe her no allegiance. Okay. So when I tell you, I cannot say 100% for sure that this is her, that's because I can't, honestly. And Kat was like, right? She says, if it were clearer. Now, for me, after seeing that, I was like, okay, Kat's on the right track because there are cameras, just like they showed Leslie going in. Now, Jacob needs to get a subpoena for the hospital cameras to get that timestamp, because it's time stamped on Kat's phone, to get that timestamp all the way for the next half hour, that one camera. And it's going to show her coming out, right? Perhaps they could get a front picture of her face when she's coming out this time. Because actually they got a pretty good picture there. To me, if when Jacob subpoenas it, good forensic could clear that up, clean it up better, right? So, because she's looking side, she's got a really good side profile, more than a profile of her going in there. So anyway, we'll see where that goes. Now, disappointment of the episode was Ted. Now, somebody said in comment corner, he needs to fix that grade. They need to get him a better gray jacket that fits. And when they showed him, he's walking into his room because it's double breasted. Bottom line, you keep the double breasted jacket buttoned or you get a blazer. You don't wear double breasted if you're not going to keep it buttoned because it makes it look like it's swimming on him. I was like, oh no, that don't look good. Right? It don't look right. Doesn't hang right on him. So anyway, there's a knock on the door. Kat's supposed to be coming over because she said she was gonna bring him something to eat, and he's put a love heart on it. Oh, he was happy. And when the knock on the door, he goes that fast, so he opens it up, and it's Dana. Ooh, see, when she was doing it, he goes, you know what? I don't have no time for you, and no. So he goes to shut the door in her face, and she goes, "You want me to make a scene out here in this hallway?" And he looks at her and he goes, "What do you want?" She goes, "I thought not." And she walks in. And I thought, bottom line, let her make a scene and call security. See, you don't let Dana, feel like she got the upper hand and gonna come into your place anytime she wants. Right? And he goes, "What do you want to say to me?" And oh, it's cool, chilly in here. But then again, I remember you liked our rooms. And see, she kept doing this whole memory lane thing. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not discussing our decades old relationship with you at all." He says, "Matter of fact, I don't even want to be talking to you. So you could leave." "No, I want to tell you something." He goes, "Well, then what did you come here for?" So she takes her, she sits down. He goes, "Oh no, you're not staying. Kat is going to be coming over and you going to be gone because it's obvious you have nothing to say." And so she goes, "Oh, I need some gin and tonic." Gin and tonic. He goes, "Please." She's acting like she's choking. He brings her over just a tonic bottle. "Here's your tonic." And she looks at him. She then round about the bush and this. "I'm here to talk about our daughter." He goes, "What about Eva?" She asked, "Are we going to get back together again?" "Our daughter wants us to be back together again." He said, "Why would Eva even think that?" And I thought, Ted, why would you even believe that? Eva is not no kid that wants her parents to get back together again. She never knew you together in the first place, ever. Right? So that makes no sense. And you talked to Eva enough that she would have asked you. But he's letting Leslie slash Dana dictate this whole scenario. So she rounds about, talks and talks. And then she go in and make some sexual innuendos in it. And he's like, "Okay, see, now you're veering off. You need to leave." And she gets up and she goes over. "Here's your beer. You know how you like your beer." And he looks at her and she sits it down on the coffee table. "Come sit down. I'm gonna finish telling you what I came here to say." And I looked, I said, "No, she's setting the stage because Kat really is getting ready to get there." Right? But Ted is too stupid to know that's what she's doing. See, first of all, you told this woman to leave. You told her hurry up and tell what you got to tell, then you got to get out of here. Are you going to let her pour you a drink and sit it down on the coffee table to look like you're drinking together? And I said, what an idiot. He's such a stupid. So he goes, Here's what you need to tell Eva. And he's standing up and Leslie's standing up. That, oh, we will never, ever get back together again. Earlier in the conversation, he goes, I should apologize to you for even making you think that there would have been some sort of chance between us. But like I knew then, and I know now, Nicole is the only woman for me. Yeah, but because she's abandoned you. He goes, because you led a torch to my life. Nicole has every right to her feelings for now. Well, what about you? What about your feelings? He says, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my wife back. And Leslie's just looking. So she's standing in front of him. Okay, so I understand now. I guess there really is no chance of us. And she's getting ready to, she caressed his face before, right? So she's getting ready to touch his face, and he takes her hand and he moves it. See, that's what should have been happening all along. And she looked when he did that, and he's still holding her wrist. He's like, it'll never, never will happen. And as she's kind of struggling to snatch her hand out because he's holding it pretty firm, that's when Kat walks in and she sees him holding her hand. But then when she sees Kat, oh, she goes in, oh, love her. And he pushes her away. He goes, oh no, He says, this at all ain't. And then she goes behind him, rubbing his head. See, no. And Kat's just looking at it. And he goes, Dana, get out. Get out, like I told you. So she goes, see you, lover boy. And Kat's just looking at her. As she goes by Kat, she goes, you brat. And Kat just watches her walk out. And Kat slams the door. And he goes, Kat, honey, this is not at all what it seems. She goes, what it seems like is you two were having a cozy drink together there. And he looks, because see, she set the stage. She says, he goes, no, no, that is not what happened. She goes, you know what, Dad? I already know what was happening here. I know the kind of woman she is. And I know what she was trying to make me think. She says, and the problem is, she said, Dad, you know the kind of woman she is too. So why would you let her into your hotel room like this? Why would you do that? And he just looks. She goes, he says, you've got this soft heart thing to where you want to hear people out. She says, but Dad, she is still trying to mess with our family. What if I were mom coming over and you in your hotel room with her? And she got her hand, she goes, mm-mm. He says, but I what? She goes, no, no words. No words. Like, I don't even want to hear what you have to say. She's saying, because you're allowing this situation to happen. So she drops down her food. She says, I wanted to make sure you ate. And I'm leaving. He goes, but Kat, you don't have to. And she walks out. And I thought, good for you, Kat. Good for you seeing that. For one, you could tell he had his hand on Leslie. There was no caress. The game, the act didn't happen until Leslie realized she was coming in. Then she was trying, and he's like, mm-mm. Leslie gets home, her and that talking to herself in that mirror. She was just as giddy. The cat's meow. Oh, she's so pleased with herself because she feel like I have alienated Kat, from him. thinking, oh, Cat didn't believe what Ava was, what Dana was trying to make it seem like, right? But Dana's thinking, oh, the universe is on my side. Woo, woo. Everything I do is right. See, it's because Ted can be played for a fool. He's gonna have to stop that. But anyway, everybody, that is it. That's it. That happened on today's episode. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, Danny doesn't really spiral out of control because I feel like we've been there and done that. I'm tired of it. Don't want to see it again. Let's go to comment corner. We have Alicia says the waiter at the club was so obvious Ray Charles could have spotted him. That's funny, Alicia. Alicia also says I saw her carrying a big old soap container and I didn't even look at the brand. Lucy says thanks recap lady for BTG Wednesday's episode review. You are welcome, Lucy. Thank you so much for that. Karen says Martin's fantasy of what would happen, what he would say to Bill was funny. Yeah, that fantasy when it first started happening, I thought, wait, this can't really be happening, right? I hope Danny keeps it together and doesn't go off the deep end about this pregnancy. She's going off the deep end. I hope Terrell and Jessica make it, and she is who she says she is. At this point, it seems to be fairly elaborate for a high school prank. No, those high school pranks get very sophisticated, especially when they're trying to do a different level of shameful bullying. Yeah, we'll see, right? And then Ronald says Smitty's name is Bradley Smith. Thank you, Ronald. I had no idea that was Smitty's name. I thought Smitty was his first name. So I guess the Smitty comes from Smith. That's everybody just call him Smitty. Okay. Bradley? Brad? So Ronald said the guy who followed Martin out of the club and was sitting in the window at Orphe Jean's is called Kenny. How you know all this? Kenny is played by Jason Vendrez. Some people think he is the one who sent the push notification to Smitty about the hearing and that he told Smitty that Martin confronted Bill. Yeah, that's probably who. Because he did take out his phone. I thought he was recording him, but maybe he. Oh, wow. Kenny. And then Ronald said, I look forward to the product placement. I love the tackiness of it. Yeah, I mean, come on now. My throat is starting to act up, y'all. Let me hurry up and finish this. Black Purple Turquoise says, now that Tyrell and Jessica have fought, not that I'm saying I don't understand her perspective or why she's angry and hurt right now, hoping it's genuine. He'd best watch his back and hope everything he is questioning about her turns won't turn out to be true. I still really don't trust Jessica. Will she see while she seems to really like him, it's wrong like him. It feels like there's more to the story there. You're right. And I've been hoping from day one I was wrong from seeing them together at Orphe Jean's. I still am hoping she's not doing everything Tyrell asked her about. I think she is personally. However, I hope these two can sit down and talk things out. If he truly, if he is truly the one she wants to be with, and talk with out of, well, talk it out like maturely developing young adults. Can truly developing young adults talk things out maturely? I don't know. At some point, if she's being genuine and not setting him up. And then Cleo says, I'm with Tyrell. I don't trust Jessica and never did. She and her boyfriend is probably setting him up. Lord, I hope Haley is not pregnant. I actually like the dream Martin when he was back to being absolutely a-hole lying and gaslighting. No, now he's back to a-hole lying and gaslighting Smitty. Yes, Smitty's last name is Smith. I think his first name is Michael. Well, somebody said Bradley. So it's either Bradley Michael, Michael Bradley, or neither one of them. But anyway, everybody, that is the comments from Comment Corner. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap of Beyond the Gates.